We play a round called Set Your Phasers to Fun. This game involves Hal and Gary, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. First subject is building. Who wants to come in on that? Hal Crutton.
Building freaks me out a bit. Well, builders intimidate me, because I've had builders come to work at my house and they work for like 2 days, then go away for a week. And you end up making that phone call to them, and it makes me feel like a little kid whose parents have split up and the dad's being really crap. It's the same conversation. You just go, you said you'd come on Saturday. You said you'd be here on Saturday. I'm really sorry, mate. I've been really busy. I can make it Tuesday. Do you promise you'll come on Tuesday? Can we go to the park? I love you. They intimidate me. I've had a builder come and give me a quote on a problem in my house and make it worse right in front of my face. Literally, feeling my wall, going, yeah, feel that damp, mate, that's chronic, that's soaking wet, yeah? All round there, that's soaking wet, yeah? I put a little knife in, yeah? Watch it crumble. Look at the plaster fall away from your wall. Look at the size of that hole in your wall. That hole wasn't there when you arrived. It's massive, isn't it, mate? It's massive. No other job does that. No other job diagnoses a problem by making it worse, do they? Nobody. You know, doctors don't go, I think you've got brittle bones, mate, I do, and then stamp on your leg, do they? See that, mate? Your leg was like a twig, yeah? I think you got a dodgy heart as well. Boom! See, you having a heart attack, you see? I actually tried to help this builder finish our kitchen, and he just stopped and went, mate, and I kind of jumped because I'd been momentarily transfixed by the beauty of the bubble in the spirit level. He just stopped. He said, seriously, mate, leave it. You don't know what you're doing. I'll finish it off. And that night I had a dream that I was making love to my wife. And he walked in and said, seriously, mate, leave it. You don't know what you're doing. I'll finish it off.
Thank you very much, Hal Crutton. OK, Gary now, so let's see what topic you've got, Gary. Let's spin the wheel. Topic is childhood.
As a child, I was made to walk the plank. We couldn't afford a dog. My 6-year-old refuses to eat anything other than alphabetti spaghetti. Luckily, he's dyslexic, so I just buy him normal spaghetti. Seems to work. Dad, these are all L's. Yeah, it's Welsh. I bought him some medicine for his ADHD. On the side of the bottle, it said concentrate. I thought if he could do that... I bought a really nice 12-year-old Scotch. Obviously, his parents weren't pleased. I hate people who complain about breastfeeding in public. I don't want to see it, or that's disgusting, or you can't do that, you're not a woman. And that's not a baby. As kids, we always enjoyed dipping ginger nuts into a steaming hot cup of tea. But, of course, nowadays, that's called bullying. I shouldn't do that, by the way. Ginger jokes are the last vestiges of racism in comedy, and they started a ginger pride movement to stamp that shit out. They had a march in Hyde Park. Well, they were going to when the sun came out. Nan always said that when she was young, she never had to worry about leaving her back door open. What a slag. I'm totally going to get in trouble with the family again. This is really not worth it. You got to look after your health as you get older. The other day I did a poo and noticed there was a little blood in it. I said, oi, bruv, get out my toilet, innit? Thank you.
Well done, Gary Delaney. Well done, both of you. Points for both of you. Come on back. We play a round called Should I May or Should I Go? This game
Class.
involves Reese and Nish, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And the first subject is courage. Reese.
I'm a very courageous person. Like the other day, I was walking home from a night out and I got myself a kebab, even though I knew full well that back home I had run out of Gaviscon. Wow. We got a badass in the room at last. Tell you what, though, I am not courageous enough to be honest to a taxi driver. Rule 1 of being a comedian, do not tell a taxi driver you are a comedian. They expect too much from the relationship, right? Like, either they want you to tell them a joke for free, or they want to tell you a joke, which is often morally all over the place, right? So you have to lie to them, right? But that's nerve-wracking. I was in a taxi the other day, and I freaked out, right? My mind just went blank when I got in the taxi. I was there, I was nervous, like my palms are sweating, my knees are weak, my arms were heavy. It was very familiar. I was freaking out, honestly, because I knew he was going to ask that question. I knew he was going to say, what do you do for a living? I'm in the back of the taxi thinking, Reese, don't panic. Just say the first thing that comes to your head. He turns around and goes, what do you do for a living, mate? And I went, taxi driver. I mean, say what you see. But he didn't speak to me for the rest of the journey, so I now do it every time.
Thank you very much. See you again. Things you wouldn't hear on a fitness DVD.
OK, let's get you sweating in your own living room. I know you're an illegal immigrant.
Today we're going to work on our 3 problem areas. That's bums, tums and Afghanistan.
Do you want rock-hard buns? Then you need to get to Greg's at around 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Really stretch it out. Come on, really stretch it out. You're nearly there. Can you feel the burn? Can you? Good. OK, now you've got your leotard on, we can do the exercise.
So that's 3 minutes in, and it's time to wave goodbye to our American viewers.
Hi, I'm Il McPherson, and welcome to Wankercise.
Hello and welcome to Get Thin on Heroin.
I got rid of all the extra weight I had when I was pregnant just by leaving him on a stranger's doorstep.
If you find weights really boring, do what I do. Don't wait.
Now, I find squats very important because I can't afford to pay my own rent.
Are you still too big to fit into that dress? Don't worry about it. Just go to Leeds. The women there don't seem to give a shit.
And now I can completely fit into the bikini. Of course, sometimes my cock flops out, but...
Hello and welcome to Pilates at Home. All the fun of Pilates without the embarrassment of farting in a church hall.
Hello, and welcome to Dara O'Brien's Bunga Bunga workout.
Subject is hospitals. Who wants to come in? Miles.
Hospitals. I can understand why some people think that they're a good idea. I I really dislike them. I think hospitals are terrifying places to be. I've had several general anaesthetics over the last years. I'm terrified of all of these things. I think hospitals, they are basically they are grey buildings full of people who are dead, about to be, overworked, stressed out, or asking for change for the car parking facilities. That's all they... I can't understand, therefore, why, even now, even today, we have this thing where the idea that a nurse's uniform is considered sexy. Now, I've got no doubt whatsoever that lots and lots of nurses themselves... I should imagine some of them unbelievable creatures, but the idea... But the idea that the outfit itself is sexy. And yet, if you wander into a sex shop, either, deliberately or, you might have some sort of job that involves touring, you've constantly got to go and ask directions in places. Still, people are buying nurses' uniforms as a sexy outfit. What is sexy about a nurse's uniform? Surely a nurse's uniform, that just screams hospital at you. Who's at home going, oh, I'll tell you what, darling, could you dress up as a nurse for me tonight? You dress up as a nurse. I want you to remind me of the time I had a length of my bowel removed. Would you do that for me? Would you? Go on, I'll tell you what, when you put that on, act like a naughty nurse. Go on, act like a naughty nurse. A naughty nurse is one that doesn't wash their hands. That smothers you with a pillow, having subtly encouraged you to alter your own will.
OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you can answer. Let's spin the wheel. It's travel. Away you go.
Keep Britain tidy. Chop off Norfolk and Cornwall. People from New Zealand don't like being called Australian, do they? Oh, no. What people from Britain don't realise is an entirely separate culture. There's a great big sea between the two places. What people from New Zealand don't realise is that we in Britain don't care. I've just come back from Holland. When I was there, I was in a fish restaurant, and the bloke on the table next to me began to cough, so I ignored him. Then he began to cough a bit more, so I still ignored him. Then he began to choke really, really badly, so in the end, I stood up and I smacked him on the back really hard. Anyway, it turns out he was just speaking Dutch. That works with Welsh as well. You have to admire the Dutch, because what they've done, right, is legalise drugs, and now there are far fewer people in prison. I suppose the next step is to legalise murder. There'll be far, far fewer people in general. Sometimes, though, it's difficult to know if you remember something or you remember the photograph of something. I think my earliest memory is of being in America, standing over an air vent and my skirt billowing up. That's also very technical, though. Well done. Read all about it.
Boys there, the Midland Jones. Come on back. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on a consumer programme.
Dear Anne, the other day I was changing my baby's nappy and he weed right in my face. Does this mean I can make a PPI claim?
Well, the toilet wasn't connected and there was no water coming out of the taps, and that's the last time I have a poo in the showroom at B&Q.
An important recall announcement now. As it transpires, a large shipment of party poppers was mistakenly packaged as tampons.
Bad news for electricity consumers. N-Power has been bought by N-Dubs.
Critics say Botox is too expensive, but we spoke to 50 people who just paid for the treatment and none of them looked surprised.
Mr. Jones got a nasty rash from his new blanket. Good job he kept the receipt. Unfortunately, it doesn't cover as much as his body, it's not half as warm.
When they came home to find saloon doors and 6 dead Native Americans, they knew they were the victim of cowboy builders.
Firstly, we'd like to apologise for the mispronunciation on last week's show, and particularly to those people who, as a result, have invested all of their life savings in ISIS.
The house was haunted, and when he refused to pay the £200 for the exorcism, it was repossessed.
Dear Watchdog, I bought these pork scratchings, but they all taste a bit David Cameron-y.
The kids were left shocked, frightened and in tears. So our advice, if you're hiring a face painter, don't book a surrealist.
A word of advice for anyone that wants to buy shares in the company that makes Toblerone. This is a pyramid scheme.
If you've been tempted to go abroad for cheap boob jobs, you might reconsider after hearing about Sally, who came back from Thailand and discovered her implants had been filled with helium, and now they've gone tits up.
OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things for a royal correspondent to say.
Isn't it wonderful to see Prince Charles being made king at the age of 137?
And the Queen there majestically taking her place in the queue to withdraw her savings from Northern Rock.
The Queen asked me if I was from the BBC. I said I was, and she told me to piss off.
There we see Prince Philip going over to talk to a man from China. This should be interesting.
In fact, it's the Chinese Premier, and he's just asked him for a menu.
Prince Harry hasn't been put off by the congestion charge. He says he still manages to come into Chelsea twice a day.
Well, the crowd are absolutely loving this event. The night sky is dancing with light. Yes, the Queen set fire to Windsor Castle again.
It's great to see the whole family waving from the balcony through the sights of my AK-47.
Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Well, the season has finished now, but as a special bonus, because we enjoyed it so much, here are some of the rounds we didn't have time to fit into the original programmes, along with some of our favourite moments and a few outtakes. I hope you enjoyed them. Let's have our first topic. That is... What the name of is that? Let's spin the wheel again. Oh, is it? OK. It is, of course, national surveys. Good luck with this one, folks. This next round is our version of Question Time called Ask the Politicians. I'll play the host. Joe, Frankie and John, if you could move up among the audience, please. Ready to ask your questions to the politicians sitting at the front here. If you'd move in. Rory, you're Tony Benn. Hugh, you're a Tory spokesman. And Al, you're the voice of the silent majority. Can we have our first audience question from the swarthy Greek lady on that side there, please? Yes?
Oh, thanks. I was just wondering that as Britain chairs the European presidency, what changes should we be making? And would anyone like some falafel?
Serious suggestion here.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, by the way. I realise I haven't said hello to you today.
No, it's... I thought it was a little bit, you know...
We never
distant.
say hello on this show.
Nice. There is a lack of that, isn't there?
Straight
Lack of
into politics, mate.
Yeah.
Britain needs satire, and I'm here for it.
Go straight into it.
I think people don't realise that we don't all just converge on this point without having bumped into each other sometime during the day and the lead into the recording. It's not like... They don't, like, 5 minutes before the show starts, going... and then we all just emerge from all the different points.
Assemble! All have little nicknames like
Token Cockney, Whimsy, One-Liners.
God, it is like the Avengers.
You weren't elected, were you, to this position?
I wasn't.
I
stole it in a bloody coup. And would do it again, my friend. People have disappeared from the show, Miles, and would again for raising those exact kind of questions.
Well, I'm just saying.
Where's Frankie now? Where's Russell now? Gone.
You will be dragged through the streets, Dara. You will be dragged through the streets like Gaddafi.
They were...
Then they'll be laughing.
Oh, there are 5 regulars on the show. How many regulars now? Just poor weak Hugh. Poor weak Hugh, who I own. Hugh will always give the correct answer when I ask him to, won't you, Hugh? Won't you, Hugh?
Your shoes are almost polished.
Thank you, Hugh. Hugh knows what's right for him. In other news...
I think you're terrific on the megabus, sir.
Doesn't know if you're being sarcastic here, Hugh.
And there goes the final regular.
Just me.
I've known Darren quite a number of years now. Whenever I look at his career and compare it to mine, I always just think, I'm the same age as him. Then I look at his balding head and I run my fingers through my luscious hair and I go, let him have his own show. I don't care. I've got my own hair.
Think of that as you're watching it next week from your sofa.
The Duke of Edinburgh, very fond of impressions. That was a dirty old man. Oh, the lineup. Of course, the point of these is to meet foreign dignitaries. That's President someone or somewhere with suspiciously dark hair for a man of his age. Tony Blair, of course, will at this stage urge the Duke of Edinburgh not to insult the many dignitaries or be racist with them. There he goes. He's saying they may be foreign, but that doesn't make them bad or wrong. Who's next? Oh, it's Gerhard Schroeder. Another man with suspiciously dark hair. Of course, he doesn't use hair dye. He's never gone grey, in spite of his age of 107.
Is that your image of Scotland? You know that's 3 English blokes at a wedding. Do you remember years ago when they were making Braveheart, everyone said, oh, it's ridiculous, Mel Gibson playing a Scottish guy. That's not going to be very convincing. And look at him now, an alcoholic racist. The most Scottish thing I've ever seen, I was going through a town called Bathgate at about 11:30 at night, and there was a guy pissing against the front door. He then took out his keys and went inside.
Frankie Boyle, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have another topic. And the subject is bird flu. Who wants to come in that? Ian.
Yeah, we do have a bird flu helpline. We do give us advice on what to do in the unlikely event that we encounter a dead bird. And I thought, well, what are people doing at the moment? Oh, look, there's a dead bird. I must rub it in my face. Hello, bird flu helpline. I think I made a grave error. I was walking down the street and I encountered a dead bird. I rubbed it in my face, yeah. Is that wrong? Shit. If only I'd have spoken to you earlier. What, now? The kids are playing with it, yeah.
This next round is called Phone In. I'll play the host of a radio phone-in programme, interviewing a top guest in the week's news, played by Frankie, whilst the other performers will play different characters ringing in with searching questions, OK? Welcome back to the show. I'm delighted to welcome my special guest, John Prescott.
Hello, Dara.
Good to have you here, John, with us. John, Mr. Prescott, of course, you've had a busy summer. How did they find out about your affair, by the way?
Well, basically, the woman I was shagging ended up being the flattest woman in Britain. So the newspapers just rang round hospitals asking for women who'd been admitted, claiming that a piano fell on them.
We're going to move over to line 3 there.
Oh, I'm line 3, am I?
Hello,
Mr. Mr. Prescott, good to talk to you again. Now, when Tony Blair retires, he's going to be lecturing the world, making a fortune. When Gordon Brown stops being Chancellor, he'll get directorships in the city. What are you going to do when you give up politics?
Well, I resent your tone, to be quite honest. I mean, I'm a man of many achievements. For example, I'm a 25-stone man who's managed to shag a woman on a desk and not break it.
It's funny you should say all of that.
I've got vicious pins and needles. I genuinely have. Oh, God, I'm in genuinely real trouble.
Thank God you're not in Romania. There wouldn't be a doctor for miles. This is the sort of British sportsman we've come to expect.
Really helped me leg.
So, Russell...
You're the youngest,
Russell, you're that's probably 10, 15 years fitter than any of us here. And you're the one whose legs have both fallen asleep from sitting in a chair.
Miss Fat Ankle 2006.
Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. David, which category would you like?
Science.
OK, your category is science. The answer is serious, risky and heroic. What is the question?
What is telling farmers, you know, it could be worse?
Is it what a Snap, Crackle and Pop's DJ names?
How have people described my recent sex tour of Nigeria?
Very well reviewed in The Spectator.
How would you describe standing in between Judy Finnegan and a free bar?
Is it what are the 3 speed settings on the world's most powerful vibrator?
And you know what the correct answer is?
Or is it about the Russian submarine that's attempted to claim the North Pole?
It's exactly what it is. Well done, Frankie. Congratulations. The first subject is exam questions that were rejected.
A lot of people say that the exams are too easy. Is the answer A, yes? Or B, David Beckham?
With illustrations, describe the Prophet Muhammad.
A Virgin train is travelling at 120 miles per hour between London and Manchester. What time will it be cancelled?
Do you think kids spend too much time with their PlayStation? Answer cross, triangle, circle or square.
Tick the box A, B or C to receive the grade A, B or C.
Sex education practical. Report to me in the stationery cupboard.
If I add 1/8 to 1/16, how stoned will I be?
Now we play a game called What on Earth? You're thinking at home, wow, I haven't seen this game before. That's because we never fucking broadcast it. Now we've an exciting new round called Ask the Panel, which ordinary members of ask questions about something in the news this week. Can we have our first question, please? Who wants to come with a question? That gentleman there, please.
Do any of you smoke, and if so, how have you been dealing with the smoking ban?
No, very easily.
I don't smoke, but apparently the big problem with the smoking ban is BO in nightclubs. And I've thought it through, just put Nicorette patches under both armpits. 2 birds, 1 stone. Also, if they need to put a new smell into nightclubs, you've got to select something that everyone likes. Bacon. Those are my ideas.
I did enjoy Charles Kennedy getting done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he obviously knew the dangers of smoking, not so aware of the dangers of sticking your head out of a train going at 125 miles an hour.
I thought Charles Kennedy probably wasn't even smoking. It's probably like just the alcohol in his breath spontaneously combusted. He's probably like a baby dragon at this stage.
I saw something that was great the other day. There was a bloke outside a pub and he had a cagoule on, right, and he was just absolutely slashing it down, just smoking like that, like a nicotine-obsessed condom. It's fantastic. You'd think he'd probably just quit at that stage.
That's a really good look for you, by the way.
Thanks so much.
Do more stuff like that.
Well, if most people did this, you know, the world would be a happier place. Very difficult. It's very difficult to take something seriously.
Are you talking about...
I want a divorce.
I think you probably get it, actually.
Yeah. How has Blue Peter managed to upset the Tories this week?
Have they changed their name to Red Peter?
They have not. No, they have not. No.
Is Connie Huck?
It is Connie Huck, yes.
Does she hate him? I don't know.
Does she even hate him? No.
Yeah, I tell you who doesn't hate Connie Huck, hey, Dara?
She's a good girl.
Hang on.
Don't mess with the hook.
What does that mean? Do you fancy her?
He dresses up as I've seen him do it. He dresses up as I've seen him.
Kids TV kind of thing, and I quite like... she's getting dissed at the moment.
Then.
Yeah.
I'm just saying she's...
He loves her, he loves her.
And, no, she...
Look at him squirm.
Have you ever met her, Dara?
I've never met her. No.
Would you like
to meet
Clearly
her, Dara?
not
Would you
going
like
to
to
happen
sidle
now.
up to her and say, here's something I made earlier?
Dara, does your wife watch this?
Yeah, but she doesn't watch Blue Peter, so I'm all right.
Sticky back plastic.
That actually was just a Blue Peter term. It had no actual gag there. So, yeah, sorry. You might have just said, shut the dog at that stage. Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Give a big welcome to the people... fucking hell. I'm sorry.
It's going to be the best one ever.
The first 5 seconds were brilliant.
Oh, lovely. I'm sorry.
This organisation does not tolerate failure, Mr.
OK, the first subject is national identity. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I need a piss.
OK, I'll just give the title again so you can pop it up on screen. Excuse me. Sorry.
I'm a little bored today. I think I may sing the news to you. Oh,
sorry. I'm sorry. Which point we usually ask you if you could now walk like a raptor.
Shall I walk like a raptor?
Go on, for those who haven't been here before.
This is an announcement to any passengers awaiting the 10 o'clock train to Edinburgh, calling at Peterborough, Doncaster, Darlington, York, Grantham, Northgate, Peterborough. Fuck, I fucked that up. It was gonna be so funny as well. Oh, it was funny.
What do you think the punishment for queue jumping should be? Do you think A, death, B, deportation, or C, that twat with a buzzer keeps on putting it in the wrong fucking place?
You're just funny. To me, you're funny right from the start, OK? Sorry, Russell, do you want to walk back in the walk again?
It's not going to be very good, anyway.
In the week that Osama bin Laden released... for fuck's sake! More of that later. Mock the week.
I foiled him by throwing a banana at him.
Who throws a banana at somebody? Next topic is what you didn't hear at Live Earth.
Live Earth, sponsored by Powergen.
Go home, it's too late, there's nothing we can do!
Yeah, just keep the car running. I'm only doing 20 minutes.
We've managed to power this whole event just by burning orangutans.
The next topic is unlikely letters to be read out on points of view.
Why, oh why is the structure of my chromosomes?
Dear BBC, I watched a light entertainment programme on your network the other night that wasn't hosted by Graham Norton. Is he ill?
Dear BBC, how did you manage to get those hippos to swim in a circle?
Dear BBC, I am a Nigerian general with £30 million to put in your bank account.
Last night, I turned onto your new porn channel, See Boobies.
Dear points of view, I would like to complain about the weird voice you're reading out my letter in.
Okay, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first topic is airport security. Who wants to come in that? Mark.
Hey, I find it very stressful, the amount of security at the airport these days. All these announcements, ladies and gentlemen, at this time of maximum security, at this time of height... What do they mean, at this time of maximum? When's it going to stop? Ladies and gentlemen, I think they've gone. If you see a mysterious package, shake it! I tell you what I really hate, though, airports, those metal detectors you have to walk through. I went on holiday, well, in fact, I'll tell you, I went to Hong Kong, and I always set the metal detector off. Beep every time, beep, beep, beep. So this time, walk through it, nothing, no beeping. I was so relieved, I went, yes! Which doesn't help. If anything, that weakened my position slightly.
Well done, Mark Watson. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is leisure. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I don't quite know how that signifies leisure. How has that old man got her? That's a joke. Anyways, we've got more disposable income now than ever, right? And this is quite an odd story, but my mum recently bought a hot tub. Now, I don't know if anyone else... It's quite exciting when your mum gets hot. She put it at the bottom of the garden, you get quite giddy. And then you're in it, and then you realise you're actually just outside having a bath with your mum. And it's a very... You've got no recollection of how to behave, right? And I've got a slightly lazy eye, so my mum's like, are you looking at my thighs? No! It gets freakier. My dad jumped in, my brother jumped in, my sister jumped in, and two of our family dogs leapt into the pool, right? So we're all on the edge, like really British, terrified, we're all naked. Dogs are just going around like that. Having the time of their life, right? And my mum just chose this moment to embarrass us, just looked up and went, hey, guess what? She wasn't doing a dog impression, that would have been weird. Right? She went, guess what everyone in this hot tub's got in common? I don't know, Mum, what? That's a dog hitting me, right? My mum looked up and went, everybody in this hot tub has sucked my tits.
OK, that leaves us with Andy and Frankie. The next topic is... It's Britishness. Who wants to come in? Mr. Parsons.
The photos.
Yes. Britishness. For those of you who require more than just a setup to a joke, there's only two things we like, aren't there? Huh? Moaning and queuing. And why do we like queuing? So as we can have a bloody good moan about it. How long the queue is, how slowly it's moving, and how those rude foreigners have pushed in front of us because they don't have any decent concept of what a good bloody queue looks like.
There you go, Andy Parsons. OK, Frankie, let's see what you've been left with. It's science.
Scientists have just built the world's biggest ever super collider. and they're doing an experiment to find out what makes up protons. I hope that if the experiment's successful, the whole of our reality will dissolve and a big sign will come up that says, Level 2. I always wondered, you know that woman that had the face transplant? See if she gave you a blowjob, would that technically count as a threesome?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think in that round the points go to Russell and Andy. Everyone come back. Things you wouldn't hear at a party conference.
Muscle top!
Why are we having this conference in Blackpool? 2 words. Cheap cocaine.
Jeremy Hunt is having a heart attack. Is there a doctor in the house? Why are you laughing?
So, we'll be having one speech from a Remainer, a speech from a Brexiteer, another speech from a Remainer, another speech from a Brexiteer, and then Boris Johnson will drop his trousers. So that's in, out, shake it all about.
What this conference has taught me is this party needs more women, because the hotel bar last night was an absolute sausage fest.
Welcome, delegates, to this year's Liberal Democrat Conference. Conference.
So to those who say we have alienated too many groups in society to get elected, let me say this. Fuck off.
I know some of you have been challenging my leadership, and to you I say, bring it on, ya ball bags.
Some have said that the Labour Party has lost contact with its working-class roots. But I say to these people the same thing I said to my driver this morning. Do not address me directly.
So, now we've sorted out Brexit.
They told us Brexit was undeliverable. They told us Brexit was unworkable. But where are they now? They are outside with banners saying, I told you so.
Right, it's the Green Party conference, and now it's time to break for lunch. Who ordered the veal?
I'm afraid Rhys Mogg can't be with us today. Someone hung garlic at the threshold and he can't pass through.
So everything is still on the table. Why has no one cleared the table?
It's incredible to think that some people think of us as a cult. Anyway, could you all just line up while Jeremy Corbyn chooses his wives?
Of course the Tories are like regular people. You should have seen us in the bar last night. Giles' wet nurse downed a whole bottle of port.
We have had soft Brexit. We have had hard Brexit, but now we have a more digestible alternative. Ready Brexit.
Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you can all make your way over to the performance area, please. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. Right, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear from a weather forecaster.
The Met Office have issued a weather warning. They've told the weather not to do that again or there'll be trouble.
Temperatures could rise to 31 degrees. Shit, I've left my baby in the car!
A hurricane tonight will be caused by low pressure and God's hatred of homosexuality.
A huge depression over Scotland, and now the weather.
And finally, a warning to hay fever sufferers. Don't come sneezing near me or I'll rip your face off.
So, here's the summary. Monday shite, Tuesday shite, Wednesday shite, Thursday bollocks.
The humidity's rising. The barometer's going low. Tonight, for the first time, just about 10:30, it's going to start raining men.
The outlook's bright for the weekend. I've got 3 grams of coke in my pocket and my wife's on holiday.
Well, let's go to Carol on the roof of Television Centre. She's not meant to be there. She's just a bit depressed.
This part of the country is going to stay hot and wet for quite some time because that's where my girlfriend lives. Oh, yeah.
So, it's going to be between 17 and 21, but Berlusconi won't date older than that.
It was raining cats and dogs last night.
I should know. I was throwing them off my roof. What are you watching me for? Look out the fucking window.
It's going to be cloudier tonight. I love those German birds.
What do you care what the weather's going to be like? You look shit in all your clothes.
The next topic is deleted lines from Star Trek.
Kirk to Enterprise. OK, how about if I stand over here?
Scotty, that's the most convincing your accent has ever been.
Captain, I can see an alien ship approaching. It's not showing up on the radar. It's a circular vessel, some sort of lettering and number... Oh, no, sorry, it's my tax disc.
I have no emotion. My mother was a Vulcan. My father was Gordon Brown.
All right, which one of you ate my Scotch egg?
This is the Federation of Gay Planets. Open your docking bay and prepare to be boarded.
Tell you what, Spock, your towel is a lot softer than mine.
Captain's log. Just seen some aliens. OMG. WTF. LOL. Smiley face.
Who are these terrifying aliens? You can't call them that anymore, Captain. It's Uhuru and Sulu.
Welcome to the SS Enterprise, Mr. Eccleston.
Now, which one of you put your red top in the washing with all the yellow ones?
There's going to be some changes around here. They call me Captain Tatty Bojangles.
What's wrong, Captain Picard? What's wrong? I'm a serious Shakespearean actor, and I'm talking to the ambassador of the fucking worm people!
At the end of that round, the points go to Russell, Frank and Andy! OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on daytime TV.
Well, these 4 date from the early part of last century. Some wear and tear, a little bit of tarnishing there. But please welcome today's loose women!
welcome to Channel 4 Daytime. Or as you said to your boss this morning, working from home.
Well, coming up next, two programmes you don't want to get confused. Escape to the Countryside and Bargain... Hang on.
The next programme is Pointless. It's the Jeremy Kyle Show.
Coming up, Teletubbies Uncut. Yes, you're going to get to see Tinky Winky's Winky and Dipsy's La La.
Next, Judge Judy. I have. She's shit.
Hello and welcome to Let's Decorate the Shit Out of This House. This week we're decorating the shit out of a 3-bed semi in Orpington. So let's do it! Let's decorate the shit out of this house!
Next up, another property programme, which is pretty offensive when we consider you're all unemployed.
Hello, welcome to This Morning. I'm Philip, a man on television, so I can go grey and look older. This is Holly, one wrinkle and she's finished.
So David wanted to retire by the sea, so we advised him to buy in Norwich, because by the time he's retired, the sea will have come to him.
Next on Flog It, the team meet their greatest challenge yet. A dead horse.
And now, a trip round Dara O'Brien's head in Hair Hunters.
Next up, the Austrian version of Cash in the Attic. It's Family in the Basement.
Hello and welcome to Let's Cook the Shit Out of Some Dinner!
And now on BBC One, let's make an appointment with doctors. If we phone now, we may be able to see them next Thursday.
Welcome to A Place in the Sun, the show that's for people who aren't sure if they want to live in Britain or move abroad. First up, Abu Qatada.
Next up on ITV3, it's a cutting-edge American drama. I'm only joking, it's Taggart again.
Hello and welcome to I'm gonna sell these antiques if it fucking kills me!
Now we play a round called Spin the News Bottle. This game involves Mark, Andy, Frankie and Joe. So if you can make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our random news generator. It settles on a topic and anyone can volunteer jokes. The winner is the team with the best stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel for the first topic. It is identity theft. Mark.
The simplest things now you can't do without the threat of identity fraud. Like getting a passport. I went to get a new passport, queued for 2 hours, got to the front of the queue, and they said, sorry, you can't use this photo, it's not valid. Why? Your face is too big. My face is normal. Right? It's normal size, bit of a beaky nose, but I can't stab someone with that. Because of terror, there's all these rules now for passport photos. Your face can't be too close to the camera, you can't be smiling too much, you can't have a hat on, gun, all this, right? What do you mean my face is too big? OK, immigration officers, maybe not the brightest people in the world, are they really going to look at your passport and go, yeah, that looks like you, except this man's face is massive? If this was you, you'd be a bloody giant!
OK, let's spin the wheel again. And the subject is terror threat. Joe Crawford.
I've been given quite a lot of thought to the whole suicide bomber situation. Now, what I'm thinking about particularly is their award of 72 virgins, because I think they haven't really thought this through. Because what the suicide bomber is imagining as a virgin may be very different in reality. Because do you know who's also a virgin? My Auntie Joyce in Dublin. She's 67 and lives with 14 cats. I don't think that's what they've got in mind. But I think that would truly be divine justice. You've blown yourself up, you get to heaven, what's your reward? My Auntie Joyce. And she's keen. She's waited a long time. When you've done me, there's 71 of my friends from the church need doing as well. You'll have to do Bridget from behind. She's on a Zimmer frame now.
Joke off here! That leaves us with Andy and Frankie. What's the next topic? Topic is drugs. Andy's in.
Now, it seems only 27 people in Britain died from taking ecstasy last year, right? 50 people died from swallowing a bee. 72 people died attempting DIY in their own home. So how come we haven't also got campaigns, bees, don't swallow them, and shelves, just say no?
Andy Parsons. Let's see what Frankie has left. Topic is celebrity.
Yeah, I've got a bit of an insight into this because I've got to that stage in Scotland where people recognise me but they don't know where from. So last week I got followed by two guys who thought that I was the wee bear from Bo Selector. Apparently, Catherine Zeta-Jones lives in LA, but she has bottles of air imported from Wales. When I want my house to smell like Wales, I just kick my dog until it farts. Pete Doherty, right? Does anyone else think that Pete Doherty is quite fat for a heroin addict? What's he been cutting his heroin with? The hollandaise sauce.
Frankie Boyle. Points go to Frankie and Mark there. Come on, together.
The next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. James, which category would you like?
Sport, please, Dara.
Fantastic. Sport it is. The answer is 20 minutes. What is the question?
How long does it take to steam French beans so they don't squeak when you bite into them?
What is a frankly disappointing distance for the TARDIS to travel back in time?
How long does it take Joey Essex to fill in the name and address section on any form?
Is it how long does it take Oscar Pistorius to cross a cattle grid?
Is that a joke you wouldn't do on the last leg, is it? With famously one-legged host Adam Hale, is this? Were you bursting to get that joke out? Were you for the last 2 weeks?
For weeks! On average, how long is it between Greek elections?
Is it how often does David Cameron have to take swine flu medication?
Is it when a man says he's going to make love all night long, what does he really mean?
Oh, let it go! It was one time, Gary!
Is it true or false? People don't understand true or false questions.
Is it for the rest of his life, what is the longest David Cameron will go without someone shouting, oink, oink?
Is it? How long had the pig been dead for before...
Is it how long was I watching the footy drunk for last Friday before I realised they were playing rugby?
OK, does anyone know what it is?
Yeah.
It is, I think, how long was the opening ceremony to the Rugby World Cup?
Absolutely, thank you very much. Yes. Yes, the question I was looking for was, according to Harriet Harman, what proportion of the top 2 posts in the Labour Party should be allocated to Harriet Harman? Or more generally, women. This is the news. The Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, Harriet Harman, said that either her post or the job of leader should always be occupied by a woman because, in her words, men cannot be left to run things on their own. Her actual words.
Listen to that applause. Did you hear that? Bingo wings in the corner.
I mean, you know, there is something about representation of women at the high levels of government, but that actual quote does make it seem like every time she left the room, it would turn into a chimp tea party. And she'd come back in, they go, oh, sorry.
It's true, though, isn't it, that women are underrepresented in the top echelons of politics. I know, in Italy, for example, there are lots of women in the top jobs. You can be... Berlusconi will put you in the cabinet in Italy at the age of 19 if you're good enough. So you can see where it's coming from.
Harriet Harman's an incredible figure, isn't she? You know that Harriet Harman, when she first came to my attention, she wrote a book about the history of feminism, which she dedicated to her husband. She's mistaking sexism with people hating her.
She's always saying stupid things, isn't she? She said she is Radio 2 to Gordon Brown's Radio 4. And you're thinking, well, she's not Radio 2. Radio 2 is the most popular radio station in this country. If she's anything, she's Isle of Wight FM on a Sunday morning at 3 o'clock in January when the transmission mast is broken.
Somewhere watching there is the guy who does the 3 o'clock in the morning slot.
Why am I the shorthand for crap? Wouldn't it be great if he looks exactly like Harriet Harman as well?
I know their female politicians always have an element of freakishness, don't they? She's a bit of a freak. Hazel Blears looks like Gianfranco Zola humped an Oompa Loompa. And Margaret Beckett looks like a face trapped in a haunted mirror.
As opposed to Alistair Darling, a former winner of Miss Teen USA, and John Prescott.
Why are we led by the least among us?
They're the only ones who are fool enough to do it.
Maybe one of the qualifications to become an MP is you have to be born inside out. That's one of the things. You can quite clearly sustain your organs on the outside. Come on in.
The thing about Harriet Harman as well is that she's wonderfully dappy. I don't know if you knew this, but her blog was recently broken into and they said she defected to the Tories. And do you know how they found out? Do you know what her password was? Harriet Harman.
They said that if the Lehman Brothers had actually been the Lehman sisters, that the banking crisis wouldn't have been as bad as it was. I think that's utter rubbish.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I think if there were girls in charge of the Lehmans, they'd just gone, sod it, should we just spend it on shoes? Come on!
Exactly.
$1 billion on Jimmy Choo.
It is a ridiculous argument, the Lehman Brothers, Lehman sisters. I mean, you could just choose any pun at that stage. But if the Lehman Brothers were the Gaiman brothers, then the gay men should have done much better.
You could say that in tennis. You could go, well, if the Williams sisters were... Oh, that's a bad example.
But the thing is, it just comes down to the fact that they're saying women are better with money. That's what she's saying, which is simply not true. No man bought Mamma Mia. There isn't a man that's listened to Duffy. Everywhere you go, I'm begging for Mamma. No man went, Duffy, please. I love this stuff. It really sings to me. It isn't a man. This is a direct pop at my girlfriend who spent 30 quid on a doorstop that's a hedgehog.
It's great to be able to come on a TV show, though, and have a go at your girlfriend, isn't it?
Just don't get the doorstop!
I think if women are genuinely better with money, I think we should put Kerry Katona in charge of Barclays and see what happens.
I think we all know what Harriet needs. Our support, because she's right.
Bankers are sexist and bankers are laddish, but that isn't the reason that the banks collapsed. It's not like people were going there, what did the derivatives close at? I don't know, I was giving Jason a wedgie. I think if it's got to be a man and a woman that's in charge, let's have Richard and Judy. Judy can recommend a few books while we wait for the bombs to arrive from all the countries that Richard has offended.
There is an argument, it has to be said, that a female leader would, Labour be more electable under a female leader, and she's right, it would be more electable under it would be electable under anyone, frankly, if they elected a hat stand or a jar of hummus to run if the Labour Party chose the H1N1 virus to lead it into the next election, it would do better than they will under Gordon Brown. And the topic is travel.
I've just come back from Australia. While I was there, I learnt some Aboriginal words like boo, which means to return, because when you throw an ordinary meringue, I didn't think much of the film on the plane coming back from Australia. It turned out to be a 24-hour animation of a plane travelling from Sydney to London. Whatever you do, don't go and see Time to Destination. Italians, slanty little eyes. Sorry, italics. Just come back from Dartmoor, where I spent 3 days shooting at life-size models of Sarah Ferguson and Princess Diana. Got nothing against them myself, it's just they made it part of the Duke of Edinburgh's awards scheme. I've just come back from Russia. Always wanted to go out with a Russian girl, because in my experience, inside every Russian woman, there's another Russian woman.
The next topic is unnerving things to hear during a medical examination.
Yes, I'll be operating. Oh, there you are.
Oh, my God! Come here, you've got to look at this!
That's your smear test done, and I do have some bad news. I'm the janitor.
Yes, well, it's definitely stuck up there. We may have to use the ferret.
So if you'd like to just pop your clothes over there, next to mine.
You'll live for about a week.
Well, there's good news and bad news. But don't worry, I can give the good news to your widow.
Don't worry, panic over. It was just a spider on the microscope.
And how does it feel if I touch you here? And here? And there?
These drugs don't actually work, but every time I prescribe them, I get a free pen.
No. You can't have your old hip back, Mrs. Smith. I fed it to my dog.
This is one of the healthiest x-rays I've ever seen. But if we compare that with yours...
Right, I thought for a change, I could cough and you could hold my balls.
You have the body of someone half your age, growing inside your womb.
Well, there's good news. You've had a baby. And the bad news, it's blown your cock off.
OK, let's leave it there, Victor. We're going to give the point to Frankie, Hugh and Michael.
We start as ever with our round called Headliners. Here's a picture of former Prime Minister Tony Blair recently, but what does BGBC stand for?
Is it Britain's greatest bullshitter celebrates?
Is it, in fact, Blair's guilt-free, blood-stained conscience? Is it...
That was a lovely answer.
Is he just suggesting what he thinks the next stage in the world should be, the next thing that should happen? Is it bomb Germany, bomb China?
Is it? That would have been an amazing turn in the inquiry. If you just randomly picked countries and went, yeah, if I was still in power, oh yeah, you'd be gone.
Hey, gang, is it Blair? Great Britain's catastrophe. Oh, I'll go there.
Is it just a description of him? Is it like balder, greyer, besotted by cash?
Is it Blair given blue cordon? You see in the picture.
Oh, yeah, he has, yeah. It irritates me.
Is it, in fact, everything the British Army didn't have when we went to war? Bullets, guns, bombs, choppers.
Is it Bush's grinning bum chum?
Would somebody give me the answer?
Blair grilled by Chilcott.
Very good, well done, Andy. Okay, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first topic is sport. Can somebody talk about that? Andy.
Not quite sure what sport that is supposed to represent. They're saying, aren't they, you know, basically, we need to spend millions of pounds on this massive Olympic stadium. What are the sports we're world class at? Pool and darts. We don't need a massive stadium. We need a gigantic Weatherspoons and hold an Olympic quiz night, ladies and gentlemen. You may also have seen, right, Almunia, the Arsenal goalkeeper, he apparently has got ghosts in his Hertfordshire mansion, which he's shit scared of. Now, given that you're a goalkeeper, being frightened of white things that fly through the air, all you've got to do to frighten Almunia is just go up behind him during a corner and just go...
Okay, Michael, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And it's telecommunications.
From the past. Now, what did I say? Well, yes, phone calls, of course, you phone people who you know. This is the idea. You phone people because you need to phone them, but sometimes you speak to people who you don't know, and you will have the wrong number conversation, something we all enjoy maybe 2 or 3 times a year. One of you thinks it's the right number. So you're phoning somebody who you think you know, because you don't dial numbers at random. This isn't how the system works. You don't just pick up the phone and dial the digits and go, oh, I hope it's Dave. That's not how it works, OK? It isn't Dave. I'll try again. That's not how it works. What happens is that you dial the number. Say, for example, you're calling Sue. You might have spoken to Sue earlier in the day. It might be one of those, I'll call you right back, Sue, and then the number rings, it gets picked up, hello! But you still go, Sue? Even though you're 99.9% sure that can't be Sue, you think, Sue's the only name I have. I'm going to run with Sue on this. On the off chance they go, it is Sue. Something terrible has happened to me since you called me. Thank God you phoned.
Let's have a look at the first topic. First topic is health.
I had to have my penis looked at. By a doctor. I didn't just wake up one morning and go, oh, more people should be looking at this, quite frankly. I used to spend an hour a day at my bedroom window with it pressed up against the glass. It was a scary experience having to go to the doctors. I thought I should build up the courage to get down there and have it looked at. Well, I went in there, my courage flew out the window like a little bird. Because as soon as I went in there, I found out that the doctor who I had an appointment with was a lady doctor. Now, I obviously don't have a problem with ladies being doctors. In fact, give them the vote, that's what I say. But there is a worry if there's a lady poking round down there. In that context, what if your nethers decide, Ooh. Think it's time to go to work. Luckily, then, I remembered I'm not an Alsatian whose lipstick pops out at the slightest whiff of an undercarriage. I needn't have worried because she was a good doctor, she was a great doctor. She put me at ease straight away using one word. This is what she said. She said, OK, Mr Gamble, just go behind that curtain there and pop it out for me. There's the word pop. Now, pop is a lovely word. As soon as I heard that word, I knew everything was going to be fine because she was not expecting anything big in that area at all. Because the word pop is reserved for very small things. No one has ever said, come in, help me pop the elephant in the van, have they? So I was relaxed. Better than me going in there and her saying, OK, just heave yourself out your trousers for me. Just haul yourself out the front of your trews. Just swing yourself over in my direction. Maybe I can bring out this Shire horse and he can drag your junk over towards my workstation. Or open this corner cupboard and bring out a team of pantomime dwarves who can shoulder your meat and waddle it over towards me like pallbearers at a weird circus cock funeral. Thank you.
Good job. OK, that leaves us with Rob. Let's see what we've been left with for a topic. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is growing up.
Yeah, I've had a big year. I've been growing up, got married. And I live with her as well. We're doing I like it, it's exciting. She's pretty happy about the marriage, though. She's got a passport now, so... But it's weird though, like when you're getting, like, you grow up and you're getting, like, your friends all getting couples and stuff like that. They always go like, why don't we do Come Dine With Me? No. If we're going to do a television programme, let's do Total Wipeout. It's much more fun, isn't it? I don't want to just cook more. And it's weird though, because my mum did different things when she was growing up. She used to do Tupperware parties, and these don't exist. This is where groups of grown women used to buy and sell lumps of plastic. Like, what kind of night-in's that? And, like, the only thing that ever got bought at a Tupperware party was a big bowl, going to be used for salads in the summer, just turned into the house sick bowl. Everyone's got one of these horrible bowls in their house. It's a bowl you keep in your house so every member of your family's been sick in at least once. What kind of life's that for the bowl? He's at the Tupperware party, I'm a big bowl, going to see some salads in my time. No, mate, sick forever. But the thing is as well, like, I used to come home from the pub, not even going to be sick, just a bit pissed, and Mum goes, get in the sick bowl, you need the sick bowl. Oh, I don't need the sick bowl, Mum. But I get the bowl, I look in it, get flashbacks, I'm sick everywhere. There's been 3 generations of sick in that bowl. It's the closest thing you've got to an heirloom.
Points for both Rob and Ed. Come on back. We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of Gordon Brown, but what does BLSC stand for?
Is it Brown lifts see-through cucumber?
Is it Bungle loses showbiz costume?
Is it Bonnie Langford sex change?
Yeah. To be honest, what a world it would be if that's the answer, wouldn't it?
Yeah. More likely to vote for him if he was Bonnie Langford.
Really?
What an extra poster as well. Gordon Brown, because I used to be Bonnie Langford. If you don't vote for me, I'll scream and scream and scream.
Has he just been asked to describe himself and he's gone, balls like swinging coconuts?
Has he just been asked to describe himself and he's gone, bad leader, shocking chancellor?
Yeah.
We're having it tonight.
Is it Brown levitates scared child?
The one that's just out of shot.
Has he got nothing to do with Gordon Brown? Is it Berlusconi's lover, 17?
We all know you spell with a K here.
Also, I love the idea that maybe you've just done that and there's a horse at home watching.
Yeah. Sugar cubes? Sugar cubes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is he screaming, bring laxatives, situation's critical?
Listen, let me move you towards the correct answer.
Is it Brown's leadership style criticised?
Yes, it is. Yes, the answer I was looking for was Brown's leadership style criticised. This is the news that Gordon Brown has come under renewed criticism this week for his style of leadership. He was compared by one Labour MP to a mafia boss. In what way is he possibly like a mafia boss?
Well, we know for one way he's not, is he? Because let's face it, if he said to the public, I'll make you an offer you can't refuse, everybody would still go, no.
Is it a case of mistaken identity where somebody thought they woke up next to a horse's head, but what they'd actually done was just fallen asleep in a cabinet meeting next to Margaret Beckett?
Caroline Flint basically got sacked by Brown and then said that the entire cabinet was really laddish. And you're like, what, Miliband and Alistair Darling? Watch out, we're going to Iron Apple.
He said that Brown was scary and had an intimidating side. Yeah. And you think, well, why doesn't he show that to anybody? Why doesn't he intimidate Al-Qaeda? Why doesn't he intimidate David Cameron? Why is it that the personality he chooses to present to the world is of an old woman's cushion that's been left out in the back garden for cats to piss on? Gordon Brown is so devoid of any life that if he was a cartoon character, this is the stage where they'd be drafting in a sidekick. Is anyone else sort of puzzled that Gordon Brown's nephew's in the cabinet and that he's a raccoon?
To be honest, though, Frankie might have hit upon something genius there because...
Really?
Yeah, no, listen. No, because the Labour Party basically need a new frontman. And the raccoon idea is good, but they should go for that little fella out of the Compare the Meerkat advert because he is possibly the most popular thing in the country.
Yeah, he is.
Imagine that. Simple. Clicks his head, economy fixed.
Meerkat! Why is he Russian? Why is the meerkat Russian? I've never understood that.
Was he dressed up in a stately home? These are questions...
It's never been made clear to me.
You're making the mistake of imagining that we need something popular to defeat Gordon Brown. You know, you don't need a meerkat. Herpes would beat Gordon Brown.
Let's be honest.
You mean more as a psychic? I don't think herpes would make a good psychic, though. I'm Gordon Brown, and here's my psychic. Yeah, you can see it manifest itself on the corner of my mouth.
The Labour have said, haven't they? They said he needs to tone down his dark side.
Yes.
They appear to have confused him with Darth Vader. But maybe they're right. Maybe it's going to turn out, in fact, David Cameron is, in fact, Gordon Brown's son.
Well, we broke it first. I'd love if that happened. Because Cameron, by the way, Cameron, big fan of the show, by the way. I met Cameron during the week in BBC Radio 2, just in the corridor, and he went, hello, and I went, hello, and he went, oh, yeah, Mock the Week, very good. That Boyle chap.
What did he mean by that?
I don't know. We just kind of went, because we both like, I had nothing more to add.
You sure it wasn't just on his hit list to MI5, that Boyle chap? Make it look like an accident.
Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Alistair, what category would you like?
I'll go for sport, please.
OK, Grant, your category is sport. The answer is 56 years. What is the question?
Well, is it Eddie Izzard's next challenge for sport relief? I'm going to run for 56 years without stopping. In 3 languages. We're the family of chinchillas.
Is it when somebody says they're 13 online, how old are they actually?
Is it when is the next train to Morden via Bank? Is this how old Dara will look when he's 45? Oh, it's just a jest.
She's 45 12 years ago.
Is it how long have BT been telling me my call is important to them?
Is it what is the age difference between the male and female presenters on Sky Sports News?
Is it how long is part 2 of The Hobbit?
How long does 56-year Ron Sale-Woodstein last for?
I don't know about you guys, but this is the age of consent for my daughters. Is it at the time
of the Big Bang, how long had Bruce Forsyth already been alive?
Is it how long you could travel in space with the right oxygen supply and just Dara O'Brien for company?
OK. We'd both be very happy, thank you very much.
How long is the gap between each edition of the monthly magazine I'm No Good at Maths?
Is it pick an arbitrary length of time?
Is it how much bad luck if you break a glitter ball?
Proper joke. And you know what fits in the
Is it the gap between Tokyo Olympics?
It is absolutely the gap between different Tokyo Olympics. Thank you very, very much. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Lines you wouldn't hear in a war film.
We've managed to crack the Germans' code. Turns out they were sending messages in German.
Why are we speaking English?
I'm afraid we can't afford goggles. So what we're going to have to do, we're all going to have to go like this.
Terribly sorry, Sergeant. It's just that when you said let's all band together and take Jerry from behind...
OK, chaps, here's the strategy for escaping from the prisoner of war camp. We sit it out till the end of the war.
I'm saving Private Ryan. Money on his car insurance.
Is anyone else embarrassed that we've all turned up in the same outfit?
There's only one way to settle this war, through the medium of dance.
Don't worry, Tommy. I'll make sure she gets it. It's chlamydia, isn't it?
You've each been selected for this mission because you're unknown to the enemy and you each have a special skill. Professor Hawking, John Leslie, Phil Neville, the Wu-Tang Clan, Usher, the Sugar Puffs Monster and Daniel Day-Lewis. Welcome to Operation Mindfuck.
At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Adam. The topic is safety. Away you go.
I'd like to say to the old man who was wearing camouflage and using crutches who stole my wallet earlier, you can hide, but you can't run. Of course, these days, a lot of people are putting poison on the menu of restaurants in the hope that French people think it's fish. My dad's answer to everything was alcohol. He didn't drink, he was just very bad at quizzes. I only have access to my son on Saturdays. Well, he fell under the floorboards of a synagogue. And I would like to see a world without plagiarism. You may say I'm a dreamer. But I'm not the only one. You see, my friends, if I had a crystal ball, I'd sit down very carefully. They say that putting mud on your face is good for your skin, but I saw a sign the other day that said sewage treatment works. Trust me, it doesn't.
Hello, I'm Dara O'Brien. Happy Christmas and welcome to a special festive edition of Mock the Week. We'll be talking about the holidays as well as looking back at some of our favourite moments from the last series, along with bonus bits we've never shown before. Hope you enjoy. I asked the panellists a series of questions all about the festive season in the hope of filling 5 minutes we're trying to get out of this of our Christmas special. So, teams, here we go. First question, what Christmas tradition was it? There are no buzzers or any points. This show is not built in any way to accommodate genuine quizzes. But nonetheless, you can take your turns. Which Christmas tradition was inaugurated by Sir Henry Cole in 1843?
Is it the Christmas tree?
Is it not the Christmas tree?
Arguing with your relatives?
No, it's not that one either, I'm afraid. No.
Is it holding mistletoe above your head and therefore being allowed to sexually harass other people?
It is not that happy tradition, no.
Is it waking your children early, saying to them, oh, it looks like the sleeping pills have worked, happy Easter?
Is it going to church just once a year, and that's usually at midnight after the pubs have closed because you want one more glass of wine?
Man, you really want to be desperate for your wine, wouldn't you? It's something to bring up at an AA meeting. I sat through God. That's how much I wanted another drink.
Is it a Christmas stocking?
That's not Christmas stocking.
That's a Victorian tradition.
Were you trying to mime something there for us?
It was...
The Christmas card.
Yes! Well done, Ed Byrne. Points for him. Congratulations.
There are no points.
I know there are no points.
You promised us there'd be no points.
Name Santa's reindeer. I'll take attempts at this.
Donner and Blitzen.
Correct.
Prancer and Vixen.
That's 2 each.
Dasher.
Yes, 3-2.
It's like you're doing a duet. Gonza. But not Rudolph. That's a lie.
We've had... What have we had? I've lost. I'm actually lost.
Donner and Blitzen.
Donner and Blitzen. Some Dasher, Comet. Bashful. Bashful and Sleepy. Doc and Vixen.
If one's called Comet, one's going to be called Curries. Or
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Comet, Vixen, Cupid.
Cupid?
No, we said Cupid.
Ridiculous name for a reindeer. Cupid.
They must have teased him, though, with a name like that. They must have teased him. He must have been the reindeer that they teased.
Reindeer are notoriously shallow, in fairness. If the story about Rudolph is anything to go by, reindeer are ridiculously shallow. And they will make fun and they will slag you off until you get a job with Santa, and then they will all love you. The last line of that song should actually be, and then Rudolph turned around at them and said, well, fuck yous, I'm with Santa now.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Why did you look at my ass for the entire... Why don't you fly the entire world while you look at my hole, right? It doesn't matter how fast we fly, that's all you're going to see. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, all you're going to see is my hairy reindeer ass going all around the world. The nose is in the front, bitches. The nose is fighting fog, but you're looking at my ass, Cupid. That's all you get.
Enjoy your reindeer game.
Oh, can we move on? Oh, sorry, is that not festive enough for this ridiculously contrived? Sorry, am I not striking the mood of the nation at this stage? Yeah, look at the bitches! Look at that ass! See you, baby! Shaking that ass! Shaking that ass! There. Good night! Ho, ho, ho. We start with a round call. If this is the answer, what is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Fred, which category would you like?
World news, please, Dara.
OK, your category is world news. The answer is 1/5. What's the question?
Is this what fraction of the Jackson 5 might miss the Christmas party?
Is it how much of the weekend can Andrew Flintoff remember?
Is it how much of French and Saunders is Saunders?
Is it what proportion of Enid Blyton's The Famous Five can lick their own testicles?
Is it England's only dwarf king was called Henry the what?
How much of a Boris Johnson speech is not, well, I say, yes?
Is it how does Jamie Oliver pronounce one fish?
Is it how much of Wikipedia is true?
I'll tell you, on that... Actually, I won't mention that on telly.
What does it say about you?
Go on, what does it say about you?
No, go on.
It says, somebody's written, I was once kicked out of a zoo for punching a monkey, and then somebody underneath has put correction, he spanks the monkey.
That's hard.
I didn't do either.
In my bit on a trivia about me, it says, I once aided the RSPCA in saving a goose from a tile shop. I don't remember the event. It's incredibly specific.
What's the point of Wikipedia if people just write it themselves? I think every Wikipedia entry should have to start with "I reckon." Probably.
Yeah.
Do you know
On
what?
the balance
Somebody else.
of possibilities.
I've just remembered another. This is a creepy thing that somebody put on my Wikipedia. They said of me, he looks like the kind of straight bloke that would be quite good at gay sex. I'll be honest, when I read that, I did go get in. But he went on to say, but he looks like he'd cry afterwards. So there's part of me now that wants to find a gay man to test the theory. So if there's any out there, bring it.
I suspect there will be a few out there.
Yeah.
Probably about 1/5.
There you go.
What honour was the actor Nicolas Cage given this year?
Oh, Nicolas Cage, right? He's actually going to be able to turn the Christmas lights on in Bath.
This, by the way, aren't the lights in Bath. This is...
Apparently, what happened was...
Those are the lights in Dundee.
Somebody actually put a note through his door. He's got a house in Bath, and he's agreed to turn on the lights. I put a note through Cheryl Cole's door, and apparently that's a matter for the police.
Do you know what's really weird about this story?
Not only is it incredible that they've got Nicolas Cage to do it, but also there must have been an incredibly uneasy phone call to Barry Chuckle. Sorry, Barry, Nicolas Cage is doing it.
Well,
maybe they gave him a part in an action movie where he knocks out Vin Diesel by turning round quickly with a plank.
Do you know what's really awkward about this story? This is genuinely true. Until last week, I was doing it.
Really?
I was there. Yeah. And then from nowhere, Cage has just jumped. It's funny. All my relatives like, do you want us to sort him out? No, I don't want you to sort him out. Because we'll go around there and mess him up. Don't mess him up.
Because you were originally up for the part in Face Off as well, weren't you?
And what's really funny about it is the lady that posted the letter through the door is the exact lady that went, oh, we'd love you to do it. You'd be great. And then I read in the paper without even telling me, the big Nicholas, you bitch.
About 10 years ago, I switched on the Christmas lights in Kidderminster.
Wow!
And because I've been rude.
There are Christmas lights in Kidderminster.
Yeah, there are.
Were you asked to do this?
Yeah, because I've been
He's been there again! We hit Bruce Willis!
We've been rude about Kidderminster on television. Got a letter from the Kidderminster Tourist Board or whatever saying, would you come and switch on the Christmas lights? So you think, oh, that'd be great, I'd love to do that. But you don't actually do it. Because what they do is they give you one of those enormous pretend switches, right? And you have to kind of go like this on a balcony to a crowd below, and you kind of go, I'm going to press the thing now. And you press it, and as you press it, a bloke in a room behind turns on a switch. So you're not doing it.
So hang on a minute, so that bloke's going to be me. I'm going to be the
Right. So you were asked to do it because you were rude about
Because I was
Kidderminster.
rude about Kidderminster. I also did a joke once about Wolverhampton and got invited on a tour of Wolverhampton.
I'm thinking bigger than that. If I slag off Jessica Alba, do I get a tour of Jessica Alba?
Well, apparently Bristol wanted to have Bruce Willis switching on their lights, but then they remembered that he tends to get into a lot of trouble around Christmas time.
I remember years ago getting up really early Christmas morning, running downstairs, ripping open one of my presents, but unfortunately it was a puppy. That's not true. It was a kitten. That's not true. It was an old man. I remember all I wanted for Christmas was an action man. What I got was a plastic doll with a cord on the back, and you pulled it when 25, 25, 25, 30, 35, 35, 35, 40. Looked at the packet. Auction man. I don't know about you, I often feel like Joseph at the inn in Bethlehem, holding a crib of straw and saying, no, I wanted to see the manager. most peaceful Christmas I remember? The manger. I think the most peaceful Christmas I remember was when my mother mistakenly covered the cake with temazepam.
The Christmas quiz! See? People now come especially for the Christmas quiz to look at our fabulous decorations.
He's got
this
shit.
thing, which I think is actually sort of sweet. And then, for no particular reason, a squirrel. A squirrel with tinsel on him, which is not in any way effective.
And Donald Trump's hair at the back.
And then this, a genuine, you can purchase this, which is a glistening owl with antlers on. You know, this costs like £4.50 or something in a shop.
Is this your audition for QVC?
Anyway, so that's, you know, hey. OK, here's a Christmas quiz, right? In which there'll be quizzes and questions. What makes the traditional British Christmas dinner unique?
Turkey. Sprouts.
No. What is it about it that actually...
Racism.
No, not unique. It's an achievement. Not racism.
You can't say that for every question, Nick.
So what makes a British Christmas dinner outstanding?
Why did you ask it again without mumbling?
I'm sorry, my face is full of your shitty lemon meringue pie.
It is quite tart. It will.
Oh, it didn't fall apart. Bravo. OK, why is the British Christmas dinner outstanding?
Is it considered the unhealthiest or something?
Very close, yeah, it is.
The most fatty.
It is the unhealthiest in Europe. A typical Christmas dinner in this country contains 3,289 calories, 70 grams of fat, 210 grams of carbohydrates. The second most calorific Christmas dinner in the world.
Who's the most calorific?
Take a wild fucking guess. What do you want for Christmas this year?
I don't know. I don't want anything for Christmas.
Hand drop off an elf.
The number one gift party for kids this year?
Nerf guns.
The Nerf gun is 64 quid. You could go to America and buy a gun for less than that.
Actually, it's like it's a ludicrously scary thing, the Nerf gun. This is the current...
Hey, don't point that there. Hey, point that over somewhere else.
I promise I'll do really careful. I wouldn't dream of doing that to you. Of all the people here, you were the last person that I would fire the... Boom! Hang on. Oh, yeah, there's three things you can do, right? You can do this big one here. Right.
Listen, Nerf is how I did this to my eyes. So I'm just saying. I'm just warning you.
OK, cool. I'll get him instead. Right, OK, Grant. Are we OK to sacrifice you for this? And then you can do these.
I guess so.
I bet you could catch one in
fairly
your
certain
teeth.
there's an instruction manual that says do not aim at people's faces.
Yeah.
Please remember that I am a special man with special powers and do not try this at home.
How far will it get? How far do you think it'll get?
I don't know, but if he hits any of you, sue the shit out of you. All the money they're saving on Bake Off now can go to you.
Can you get to the back? I mean, because this is... I feel it can be unnecessarily powerful, this thing.
Yeah.
OK, so let's decide
Yes,
the back.
I certainly feel that.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh, nah. Good catch. Well done. Respect. That is, I'm estimating 7 gardens away.
So you asked, what do you want for Christmas? So you could then shoot us.
He's still got the up with me, James, because he got heckled in Derby because they wouldn't shake his hands. I always shake people's hands after the show, and in Derby, I was there the week before and shook everyone's hand, and then someone walked out of his show and went, at least Rob Beckett shook our hand.
That actually happened. Can you believe it? He shakes people's hands on the way out the door like a little kiss ass. Afterwards. Here's what most of us do, right? We do our stand-up, and then we go, that'll be enough. And we go back, because that's our job. And Rob goes, please light me at the door. Shaking all hands. It's pathetic.
I just felt before they came, James, and to be fair, like, you know, it's only 4 people you've got to shake, so you should...
Listen, here's what's annoying about it, right? I got heckled with this thing. Well, Rob Beckett shook our hands.
What else did they say? What else did they, James, what else did they say?
And he had proper jokes.
So then I was like, right, for a joke then at the end, I said goodnight, and then I legged it downstairs to the door, and I shook all their hands on the way. I was like, however, yeah, 4 of them, but like, shaking all of their hands. And when the last one went out, and it was clearly a joke that I was doing to make fun of Rob, and the last one went out, and the venue manager came up to me and went, thanks for doing that. It really means a lot to them, and people take the time to shake their hands. I was like, that was a joke! I'm not Rob Beckett.
Yeah, but the thing is, let's be honest, I didn't have many other options open to me career-wise, so I'm just very thankful they turn up. Genuinely, because without them, I would probably be on the street.
Yeah. At the end of my shows, I'd say, I've been James Acaster, and I could have been anything. And I walk
Why would you want to be given clothes as a Christmas present in Iceland?
Because it's really cold.
It's
freezing there.
It's a land of ice, Dara!
Is it because you can take them back and get the money back in exchange for the clothes?
No, it's not that perfectly practical good reason to get clothes.
Yeah, because clothes is just a good present wherever you are.
Oh, God, yes, I know. OK, the question...
Is it because people don't have
I'm sorry,
clothes?
are you getting exasperated at us, trying to think of humorous answers to ridiculous questions that you're posing? Should we just try our hardest to come up with the correct answer? Would that slightly miss the point of a comedy quiz?
No. Is it because normally they sell frozen food?
The reason you should be given clothes as a Christmas present is to stop you getting eaten by the Yule cat. Yule Kutterin.
I tell you what, I wonder why you didn't get the QI presenting job. There's got to be one show you don't present, hasn't
There
there?
has to be, yeah. Potentially, yeah. What might you expect to eat at Christmas in Japan?
Food.
Yes.
Sushi.
No.
Sashimi.
No. Don't just name all Japanese things you can think of.
Wagamamas.
No. A bucket of...
Eels.
No.
Turkey.
That's not a clue.
It's a really good clue. A bucket
Fried chicken.
Of fried chicken.
Is it fried chicken?
It's fried chicken, Nish. Not just any fried chicken.
Kentucky Fried
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Since 1974, KFC has marketed itself in Japan as a Christmas food.
Oh, very clever.
With the advertising phrase, Kentucky for Christmas. That's... Look.
I beg your pardon.
Kentucky for Christmas. A lot of things to hear at Christmas.
Oh, John, thank you so much for my electric toothbrush. No, it's everything I wanted and more. Oh, you got lots of nectar points on it. Good.
Do the fork and take a pew. This might run for a while. Yeah.
Oh, Sarah. A holiday to Barbados? That's going to help in the fight against plaque.
It's Christmas. Today? Are you sure? The shops have kept that very quiet.
Oh, look, everyone's eating all the nuts I've bought. I should buy some more.
Leg or breast? I'd really rather you just put your clothes back on, Greg.
I'd just like to reassure everyone that the sponsorship deal will have no effect on this year's nativity. Now, Joseph, if you could just pop Jesus in the Pret a Manger.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Christmas with a vegan.
This is your Christmas and birthday present. Yes, it is a turkey with 16 candles stuck in it.
We always have a goose here at Christmas. I don't know why, really. Its conversation's terrible and it shits all over the floor.
This is just a picture of Prime Minister David Cameron pictured last year visiting a farm. However, he is now at the centre of allegations, including drug-taking and debauchery with a pig during his years at Oxford University. The claims are made by former Conservative Party Treasurer Lord Ashcroft in a new biography serialised in the Daily Mail this week. The PM spokeswoman said she did not see the need to dignify the book by offering any comment, and other sources close to Cameron later dismissed the pig allegations as nonsense and not true. So that's settled with it. We need never mention it again.
They said they don't recognise the allegations. They didn't say they don't recognise the pig.
That pig is not his type because it's alive.
Yeah. So that's the point about it was a dead pig.
Yeah, that's the point.
If you've got a dead pig, some people, don't they? They put an apple in its mouth. What's wrong if you had a couple of plums as well?
Of course, it was the head of a dead pig in this story. Of course it was. Of course. Anything else would be bizarre.
Yeah, and it's an etiquette minefield at these posh do's, isn't it? Because you never know. When do you use the little knife? Is that my side plate? Is that the correct glass for white wine? Is now an appropriate time to place my cock in a pig's head? It's just... it's an etiquette minefield.
I just tend to dip it in everything once, just on the off chance. And get it right. Just feeling around the table.
It was actually when this story broke, wasn't it? He was meeting the Danish PM.
It's the most beautiful. It's so incredible.
What is Denmark famous for? I mean, we called him the Danish PM, but presumably there's every chance Cameron just calls him an escort agency boss.
People have done things in college, and I think in some ways you've got to have that amount of sympathy, because we've all, you know, possibly done things in college that shouldn't be investigated. Maybe not a university here, maybe one in another country. But let's not look into things... Let's not investigate stuff that may have happened back in the mists of time, you know. So people died. It was a terrible night. But, you know, ha-ha, we've all moved on. Haven't we? Haven't we? Yeah, good.
There is apparently photographic evidence of the event, which made me wonder, terrible, was the pig wearing a GoPro?
That photo was before digital cameras. Who took that film to Snappy Snaps? Imagine it. Yeah, there's one photo on there, the one with the pig. Can I get that on a mouse mat as well?
Do you know what's going to turn up is a jigsaw with one piece missing in the jigsaw? No, we lost it in a house move. How did this incredible, life-affirming story emerge?
Well, it's revenge, isn't it? It's this guy, Lord Ashcroft. He was treasurer of the Tory party. He worked for the Tory party for 10 years, and he was promised a job in the cabinet, and then when David Cameron got into power, he offered him a junior whip's job in the Foreign Office.
And he went bananas.
He went bananas.
Absolutely bananas. And he's done all this. He acts like it's not, but it is. It's a classic example of revenge being a dish that's best served cold, like prosciutto.
When they leaked, when the Daily Mail had this story, I didn't know that there's a dailymail.com, which is the American version, so I'd never been on the website before, so I typed it into the internet. And their headline, because they've got no interest in this in America, was John Hamm wins an Emmy. And I thought, is that the pig? God, his career's gone from strength to strength.
Well, yeah, the pig got an Emmy for faking it.
First topic is pensioners. Who wants to come in on that? Frankie Boyle.
We've just heard that Britain, for the first time, has more pensioners than teenagers. What a terrifying statistic for the country's paedophiles. No wonder Gary Glitter didn't want to come back. In 20 years' time, we'll have the first generation of pensioners who can text each other. I've got Alzheimer's, man. Yeah, you told me that like 20 times already, man. To balance the economy out, what we should do, we should give pensioners more money, but only if they take up really dangerous sports. Here you go, an extra £100 a week if you start quad biking through safari parks wearing a suit made from ham. It's not how old you are physically, is it? It's how old you are mentally. I mean, my granny is, what, 83? But she has the mind of a 2-year-old. Just a joke, she's dead.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is young people. Edward.
Young people, they're very scary, aren't they? I remember being scared of young people when I was young. But when I'm grown up, I'll be bigger than them and I won't be scared of them anymore. And then they armed themselves, which I felt really unfair. I'm not scared of, like, goths or emos, which is kind of a shame, because goths make more of an effort to look scary. It's almost a shame they're not scary. They make more of an effort, and they give that look, like that, does my vampiric countenance not chill you to your bones? You're like, no. Like I said, one hoodie in there, it'll be like a dog worrying sheep. Don't annoy me. Getting stepped to by an emo. You're an emo, for God's sake. I think between the two of us, we both know who you're most likely to harm.
Well done, Edward. OK, that leaves us Stuart and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is relationships. Who wants to come in that? Russell.
Britain, I have sexual advice for you. That's right. When I was 18, I used food in the bedroom. Now, don't ever do it. It didn't go well, right? Rather than... I used Rolo yoghurt. And rather than tell... Yeah, exactly, right? Rather than tell my then-girlfriend what I had planned, I pretty much waited for her like some hideous yoghurt goblin, right? Now, I doubt there's anything more terrifying than coming home to find me naked, holding yoghurt, going, yeah, right? And I panicked, and rather than putting a little bit on, I pretty much basted her, right? By the time I'd finished, she looked a bit like Morph. You're sat there... I created an angry meal. You don't know where to start licking. You don't want to lick randomly, then she looks like she's got an illness. So, I did foot up to knee. That took me an hour. And hours, I was just... She looked like an angry gingerbread lady who'd had her leg dipped in Tippex, right? It didn't end there. I was like, I can't help you. The door opened, one of my dogs ran in and started licking the other leg. Never use food in the bedroom.
Thank you very much, Russell Howard. So that leaves us with Stuart. Let's have a look at the last topic then. And the topic is family. Stuart.
Before I rock the microphone, I want to I want to dedicate my performance to my father, who was a roofer. So, Dad, if you're up there. I'll tell you about my family. I'm the youngest of 3. My parents are both older, and I have mixed-race parents. My father prefers the 100 meters, and my mother's Pakistani. I was raised by my father. My mother left before I was born, and you know... I like being raised by my father. He's schizophrenic, but he's good people. I remember one summer I was 5 and he was Mussolini. Went to the park that day. I love parks. Standing in the park today wondering, why does a Frisbee appear larger the closer it gets? And then it hit me. My uncle's a hypnotist who has never inappropriately touched me. I have to leave now. I'm a member of Overactors Anonymous, and we have an Overactors Anonymous meeting that starts in...
At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie and Stuart. What is Michael Gove planning for British prisons?
He's going to sell them.
He's going to sell them off for what, though?
He's going to sell them off in inner city prisons. He's actually going to sell off of flats, isn't he? They won't be calling them prisons, obviously. They call them gated communities.
I only hope that the viewing starts early and there's people, middle-class couples looking around going, oh, yes, no, oh, no, we'll knock through here. And there's a bloke going, try that.
Already is, though. He's trying to reform the prisons after he turned the school system into the prison system.
Yeah.
You get, sometimes when I'm sitting next to Rob, I feel like a bus driver with a guy just standing up front talking to me.
Another thing.
Yeah. And you know how you stop yourself falling over if you're doing that? You've got to really just spread your legs across.
In France, is it called doing a bit of croissant? Doing a bit of porridge, isn't it?
Oh, porridge, sorry, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I wasn't in my world. I bought Alpen the other day without added sugar. I was really sick. It was like eating the bottom of the hamster cage.
How do you know that?
Because I was really hungry one morning and I didn't have anything.
A lot of prisons are more independent now anyway. Broadmoor, Strangeways, Australia.
We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Holly, which category would you like?
Politics, please.
No problem. No, politics is the category. Let's have a look at the answer. 11.5 billion. What is the question?
What is the amount I stand to win if the new royal baby is called Trevor?
Is it how many laxatives is Nigella Lawson going to put in her husband's next cake?
Is it how many words are there in an iTunes terms and conditions update?
Is it how much of Eric Pickle's department agreed to cut from their biscuit budget?
Is it how many times does Berlusconi have to be found guilty before he actually goes to jail?
Wow. Is it how many times a day do I currently have to listen to Get Lucky by Daft Punk?
Is how many Tesco club card points do you need for 10p off a pack of cereal?
Is it how much has Dara O'Brien got his legs insured for?
You've never seen them.
Yeah.
You've never seen. You know how magical they are.
Is it how many times does a former Radio 1 DJ delete his internet browsing history when the doorbell rings?
How many Ferrero Rocher has Julian Assange eaten in the last year?
Is it quite simply, think of a number?
No. Do they have the correct answer?
Yes. How much money does George Osborne want the government departments to cut in the spending review?
Absolutely right. Thank you very much, Chris. Alistair, thank you very much. Yes, the question I was looking for is how much money has Chancellor George Osborne agreed to cut from government departments in his latest spending review? Do we know when the spending review is supposed to kick in? When is this for?
Well, this spending review, it's essentially cuts, isn't it?
Yes.
They call it review, but they mean cuts.
Yes.
I mean, imagine we all spoke like politicians. I, in fact, reviewed my toenails this morning, but I haven't been for a hair review for some time.
The departments are all fighting about it, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
They're fighting, and some departments have done worse than others. The MOD have got off quite lightly, but that's quite understandable. It's very difficult to negotiate with the MOD because they've got guns.
I dare they just walk in and just put them on the table. Or spin them. That'd be particularly impressive. They said, "Oh, I'm quite happy to negotiate this."
You know what
Pick a number.
Other departments got off really lightly. I mean, nothing happened yet again to the Ministry of Sound, and...
In other news, what might we be sending out via smartphones next year?
Oh, this is a good one. This is smells. You can sell smells over your iPhone.
Yes.
It's brilliant, isn't it? If you fart in a meeting, you know, just blame your phone. You know, somebody sent me a farticon. I'll just turn that off, you know.
I'm going to say it's going to be great when Obama finally picks up the phone and goes, Dave, I can smell pasta, you in Trago Mills?
We don't need it, do we? Like, it's this constant thing of, like, making things that nobody is being on the phone to someone and go, do you know what would make this so much easier to understand what you're on about? If I could smell you.
There is a good use for it. For instance, if you're seriously into collecting your cheeses, you don't actually keep them in your own house. You keep them at someone who owns a cheesery, and you say, you know, you ring up and you say, how's my camembert doing? And he goes, well, I can let you know. And he goes and he records it and he texts you, you know, where, you know, you think, well, that needs another 10 years, that sort of thing.
Do you genuinely phone up? Do you genuinely check on your cheese?
No, mate, I'm improvising.
At the end of that round, points with Josh and Andy. So what was the story with it? Why are they...
Well, it's all an argument about supposedly dangerous extremism in Birmingham schools.
Yes.
But you're thinking, surely everybody who's ever grown up in Birmingham has thought about blowing up most of Birmingham at some point or another.
It's caused big problems in Birmingham, though, hasn't it? I mean, sort of community problems, the radicalisation of schools on one side against the other. There was this brilliant thing in The Guardian which said there was a community leader said there was a wider concern that there may be a witch hunt against Muslims, he said. And then in a phrase which you may want to reconsider, he said, in which case all stakeholders will need to work together.
It's not nice, though, to have another culture imposed on you at school. I remember when I was rushed to hospital with 80% Chinese burns.
I thought the key to, you know, whether a school is being radicalised, the clue really is in the nativity play, isn't it? When the three wise men come from the east, they're found to be on false passports and they're arrested under the Prevention of Terrorism.
I think having, you know, religious extremism taught in schools, it doesn't really do anyone any harm. I mean, I had fairly extremist religious, you know, schooling when I was a child, and I feel perfectly well integrated with you hideous, proddy dogs.
Do you find you get on with this vermin perfectly well?
They're all going to hell and going to die, so it's fine. But, you know, and we'll laugh at them from Catholic heaven. And what's suggested to be made for Ofsted inspectors? How should they change the way they do this because of this?
They said that they were going to have dawn raids, which
Yes.
I thought was probably unlikely to yield many results, given that schools don't open at dawn.
Just breaking a door, just like a janitor, just... What are you? We don't open for another 2 hours. He was riding a gondola.
Is this doing the more canals in Venice?
More canals in Venice, Birmingham. This is how janitors get to work in Birmingham. They ride the canal. At the end of that round, the points go to Robert, Catherine, and Andy. Unlikely lines from a blockbuster movie.
I cannot hold her, Captain! I cannot hold her! Oh, no, hang on, I'll put it in the cup holder until she cools down.
Luke, I am your father. I think your mum went for about 3 stormtroopers before me.
Good news, Lord Vader. The rebels have voted 55 to 45 to stay within the Empire.
I am Thor, protector of Asgard, god of thunder, and I have lost my hammer. Quick hell, where in this Wix can I buy a new one?
Nobody puts baby in a coma.
Is it raining? I hadn't noticed. And now over to Stuart with the sport.
You're right, Frodo. This isn't an unexpected journey. We're on a replacement bus service.
You know what? I never liked Private Ryan. I say fuck him.
In a dystopian future, one lone man emerges intent on destruction. For more on the budget, tune into Newsnight at 10.
Say hello to my little friend. This is Warwick Davis.
I see dead people all the time. I work at Dignitas.
In all the Weatherspoons in all the world, he had to walk into mine. Tall fella, answered to the name of Dara. Said I'd recognise him from the back of a megabus.
This is the furthest outreaches of the universe. Alpha Centauri. How did they get to host the World Cup?
Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? It's just very difficult to tell you've got a lazy eye.
I'm afraid it's bad news, Dumbledore. The Ofsted inspectors have arrived.
They brought the dinosaurs back to life. Welcome to the best exotic marigold hotel.
What's wrong, Batman? Well, Robin's dead. Catwoman just dragged him in and tore his guts out and left him at the foot of me bed.
Ant-Man! It's me, Deckman!
The next round is called Between the Lines and features Hugh and Greg. Would you make your way to the press pit, please? Greg delivers a speech in the guise of a leading figure on the world stage while Hugh translates what they really mean. Greg, you are American presidential candidate Barack Obama.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to attempt to emulate my political heroes. Luther, Kennedy, Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, what's wrong with
No, Martin Luther King is fine. It was Luther.
I love the idea your brain's just going, I can offer you the word tangerine, that is it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to attempt to emulate my political heroes. Lincoln, Kennedy, Luther King.
I'm going to be assassinated.
Hillary is a wonderful politician, and I'm delighted to have her continued support. Loser! Loser! George Bush has been giving me some tips.
He still thinks I'm the valet who parks his car.
I have the greatest of respect for all of Senator McCain's achievements.
Oven chips.
I will, of course. I'm sorry, I'm starting to sound like some sort of soul singer now. Yeah, we got it together, didn't we, babe?
Unlikely excerpts from a nature documentary.
Do you see this little fella here?
Who?
I'm having to whisper because this woman's husband is in the room next door.
This beautiful hummingbird is no match for my squash racket.
And I'm having to whisper because this bear has got me in a headlock.
Penguin with his head trapped in a beer can. Tragic and yet somehow hilarious.
And I'm stood here in the jungle in my bathrobe because my luggage is still at Heathrow.
Welcome back to Pimp My Hippo.
And here we have two insects shagging away.
Out of the water climbs a majestic otter who turns... Oh, no, it's a dog.
And yes, the lion's after the impala, and the lion's got the impala. Tuck in, my son. Lion 1, impala 0.
I'm the ghost of Steve Irwin, and welcome to Animals Kill the Daftest Bastards.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's leave it at that. The points at the end of that round go to Russell, Fred and Andy. OK, that leaves us with Tom. Let's spin the wheel and see what your topic is. The topic is exercise.
Also a picture of me. I'm not very good at exercise. I joined the gym. I joined Virgin Active because there wasn't a Virgin Passive. And I found the whole process very intimidating. Like, when you go in there, you've confronted with all the cardio area, like the cardio area. They call it cardio because that's where you go to have a heart attack. And then at the other end, they have what they call the free weights section, the free weights, which I have no business being in because it's for the bigger boys. The bigger boys go there all day. They're lifting things all day, trying to get big arms, trying to turn their arms into legs. And I think it all really started at school. Like, I didn't like doing PE at school. What would happen is, after assembly, one class would have to stay behind in the hall because they'd be doing gym. And I never found out who Jim was. The worst bit was if you had to use the apparatus! And the apparatus basically was this huge, terrifying cage which had to be buckled to the wall. It was so terrifying. And older children would have to come in who'd been trained by the army. And they'd come in and they'd untether its bonds, and they'd pull a lever and it would lurch out and it would swing out, and these huge, terrifying arms have to be buckled to the floor, otherwise it would just swing out and kill everybody. They had all these bars and ropes and chains. It was very much like a weekend I recently spent in Berlin.
Thank you very much. The game right round. The boys go to Tom Harris. All right. The next topic is America. Who wants to come in on that? Andy.
Well, their president is an idiot. That's all I've got on that one. No, this is the man, right? He wants to try and put a person on Mars by building a stopping-off station on the moon. Now, the moon is 378,000 kilometres away. Mars, 78 million kilometres away. Trying to put a person on Mars by building a stopping-off station on the moon is like going to New Zealand by building a stopping-off station at the end of your bloody garden.
Thank you very much, Andy. The subject is junk food. Russell.
Hello. Am I allowed to take this out? Or do I have to...
Go for it.
Slick. There was an amazing thing the other day. Apparently 15% of 2 to 11-year-olds in England are now obese, and the government's going to ban telly adverts of junk food till 9 o'clock so the kids can't watch. And you find yourself screaming at the telly, if your 2-year-old's obese, that isn't telly's fault, that's your fault. How can you possibly ban the adverts? Ban your fanny until you can look after what plops out of it. That is unbelievable. There's ways and means. My dad invented something, right, to make us eat our dinner. My sister would never eat it. She was like, no, it looks disgusting, Dad, no way to eat it, right? My dad invented something called the dinner witch. So, my sister was like, it looks disgusting. My dad would wink at me. I'd pop outside, ding-dong on the doorbell. My dad would then look into my sister's 8-year-old face and go, oh, Kerry, who could that be? During dinner time, with your plate still so full. And I suppose it could be the dinner witch. At which point, my sister would like, slick.
John's Clarke. Away you go.
Exactly what I was hoping to get. Charles Clarke, a man who's just been having a go at Gordon Brown, also having a go in the last 6 weeks at Tony Blair. Of course, this was the idiot, ladies and gentlemen, who actually mucked up with the foreign prisoners and deportation. He said he became aware of the problem in July 2005, but he only became fully aware of the problem in October 2005. Now, I don't know about you, if you've got a problem, how long it might take you to go from being aware of the problem to being fully aware of the problem. If it took you more than a day, you'd probably be quite disappointed. If it took you 4 months, you'd have thought he might have resigned straight away. Maybe that's why he's been having a go at Gordon Brown and Tony Blair over the last few weeks. He's only just become fully aware that he's been given the bloody sack.
Protest marches. Who's up first? Any come in protest?
Yeah.
Russell.
OK. The only protest march I went on the Countryside Alliance March. I'm not pro or anti-fox hunting. I just quite like watching posh people get beaten up. I know it's wrong, but if you can find me a more glorious noise than then I'll happily listen. Come on, it's going to be fun, isn't it? And it's just so much fun baiting right-wing people. What do you think about fox hunting? I tell you what I think. If we didn't chase the fox, the entire bloody country would be overpopulated by foxes. Is that what you want? Some hideous land of the foxes? Me, unable to leave my house if you're a fox, wandering up to me, stabbing me in the gizzards? Is that what you desire? Looking across my lawn to see fox upon fox, prowling along my paddock, flicking the V's at me, walking hand in hand with asylum seekers? Is that what you want?
Very good, Russell. Well done, Russell Howard. It's transport. Away you go.
Now, we have had bus lanes, we have had cycle lanes, we have a new initiative, combined bus and cycle lanes. What a crap idea that is. If there are two things that should never go together, it would be like having a path in the jungle for walkers and lions. You may also have seen that on our public transport system we now have an advertising campaign. Please ask, is this your bag, to stop unattended packages? Now, quite who you're supposed to ask, is this your bag too, if the package is genuinely unattended. But as I remember rightly, the problem with the London bombings was not with unattended packages. The problem was very much with packages which were fricking attended. You'll hardly like to go up to somebody wearing a rucksack and go, is this your bag?
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, the topic is air travel. Who wants to come in on that?
I'll do that.
Russell.
My favourite story about air travel, there was a bloke a little while ago who got put in prison for 3 days because he refused to stop kissing his boyfriend on a plane flight to South Africa. How magic's that? You can't help but picture him dressed entirely in latex, you know, surrounded by a sea of Burberry on an EasyJet flight. All right, lads, I'm going to make this tense for you. Ramon, let's do the bad thing. Do you want to stop doing that? I'm trying to read Nuts magazine. Whatever. Stop doing that. It's not natural. You're flying.
Russell Howard, well done.
The next topic is religion. And he steps to the mic.
Muslims do take their religion very seriously, I think at least in part because they have to pray 5 times a day. Anything you've got to do 5 times a day, you tend to take pretty seriously. We are all supposed to eat 5 fruit and veg every day. Now, we struggle to do that, don't we? Now, imagine you had to eat those 5 fruit and veg at set times every day when some bloke up a tower started wailing fruit and veg at you. At which point you had to start reciting various passages from Delia Smith's healthy cookbook whilst pointing in the direction of Norwich.
Very good, Andy Parsons. OK, the first subject is street protesters. Can I have a volunteer talk about that?
I'll do that, Dara. Nation. So, I love street protesters, they're fantastic. The best I saw, there's a lovely old lady who, since the war in Iraq started, she stands outside the Bristol Hippodrome with a big sign that says, "Toot if you're anti-war." And if you drive past her and go, "Ha," she does this. Now, I'm not sure, I've made her leap many times. I don't know if I'm anti-war or really pro-pensioner leaping. You know, when you kind of go, "Why am I doing this?" "Ha, stop it!" "Nah, do it!" They're everywhere, they're brilliant. There's a bloke that I saw the other day, you know, one of those religious godbotherers, it's fantastic, just with a loud hailer, just pointing at people running, "You're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell." Everyone was freaked out, 2 goths delighted, that's a separate issue, but... He pointed at me and I was freaked out, and then he did something wonderful. He pointed at this really strutting black guy. I don't know why the fact that he's black made it cooler, but it really did, right? Pointed at it, went, "You're going to hell." Without missing a beat, this bloke just went, "No, mate, HMV." And he just sat there going, "Oh, oh."
Well done, Russell Howard. It's health. Away you go.
Now, once again, they've been having a go this week, haven't they, about skinny models, saying that they give us a bad body image. Now, I'm not sure we're quite that insecure, are we? You know, I see a skinny model, I don't think, "Oh, I better go on a diet." I think, "Oh, there's a skinny model, I bet they're hungry. I think I'll have a pie."
And it's childhood.
So, I found this out this week, right, that we're giving happiness tests for 6-year-old kids. How ridiculous is that? My friend Wendy's a teacher. Twice a year, there you go. "Are you happy?" "I've eaten my crayons." Which made me happy, so swings and roundabouts, really. Which I also like. It's just the most ridiculous idea. Some bloke writes, "This is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What makes you happy?" "You!" Sneezing. "You!" "I quite like tickling people." "You!" "I like putting marbles up my brother's bum." Now, don't judge me. I did that once. I'm not showing off, but when you're 8 and your little brother's 6, the power you have is incredible. You've got to put some marbles up your bum. Why? If we get enough in there, you turn into a wizard. Fill me up! Fill me up! I will.
Well done, Russell. The first topic is transport. Andy.
Trains are overcrowded, but of course the train companies, they've got an answer for that, haven't they? What do they say? Well, they say, well, actually, overcrowding is quite a good safety measure because apparently during the Cannon Street rail crash, those passengers that were stood up like sardines, they were less badly injured than the ones who were sat down. Now, how can you justify something that's only any good in the event of a crash? And what are you supposed to do if your train isn't very crowded? Are you supposed to stand unnaturally close to people, going, I'm terribly sorry about this, but in the event of a crash, apparently you're my airbag?
Well done, Andy Parsons. The next topic is education. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I remember school being fun. I think my favourite moment ever in life, pretty much. There was a girl in our school called Lydia. She was trying to make her calculator work. She was repeatedly knocking it against the desk. And after about an hour, our teacher went, Lydia! How would you like if I banged you against the desk? It's the greatest day of school. But now it's more sinister, isn't it? Like, they're now talking about teaching 5-year-olds sex education. Of course, people are very angry. It's disgusting! It's too much! Like, calm down. I'm not going to teach them technique. Well, this is how I like to do it, kids. That's right. Kids aren't going to run home, put dolls around a toy car and go, look, Mum, they're dogging, they're dogging. It's going to be some poor teacher trying to talk to 5-year-olds about love. Can you imagine a harder job? Hello, children. I'm here to teach you about love. Good luck with that, mate. I'm off to lick that tree.
Thank you very much. The subject is sport. Who wants to come in on that?
So, Freddie Flintoff, how drunk would he have been on Monday night? That's all I've got on that one. We have got a great new British hope for our sport, though. Laura Robson, Britain's tennis, 15 years old, both her parents Australian. We don't mind immigration when they've got a bit of talent. We object to people sneaking into Britain on a rubber dinghy unless they can do it really bloody quick.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. And the topic is joy.
Two very giddy albinos there. Do you know what gives me joy? People who are a bit different. I fell in love with my friend Tom, age 5. He stood up in the middle of a nativity play and went, well, enough's enough. What made it even better, he was the front end of a donkey. I like noises as well. I heard this in a supermarket the other day. Whee! I thought, I'm following that, right? It was an old man skidding on a trolley. He'd done the trolley gauntlet, just whee! Just this blur of giddy wrinkles. What made it even better, a security guard stopped him and went, oi, I've told you. How can that not make you happy? And sometimes we laugh at stuff that we shouldn't. Like, I was in a pub recently, I saw a full-size Jenga topple onto a pissed dwarf. Now, the head says no, the belly says yes! Laugh, Russell! Before the bricks hit his tiny face, he went, bloody hell. A bloke 2 seats along went, that was like 9/11. You're there going, oh, God.
Thank you very much, Russell. Andy, on the topic of smoking.
Yes. Now, the government, they've made a bit of a muck of this smoking ban. Basically, it looks like in England that they're only going to ban smoking in those pubs that serve food. So a lot of pubs in England have said, well, in which case we're going to ban food and keep smoking. You're now going to have to go outside for a pie. You're going to have occasional eaters nipping outside, trying to scrounge a spare lasagna. Of course, people are desperately trying to find up different ways of giving up smoking. You know, various things like acupuncture, of course, where people stick needles into people to make people feel better. As opposed, of course, to voodoo, where people stick needles into things that look like people, make people feel worse. Now, I was wondering, right, if you had a pair of identical twins and one of them had acupuncture, is the other one in a bit of trouble?
And it's etiquette.
I'm quite a socially awkward bloke. Oh, thanks for laughing at just that. I saw a girl on a train recently and she was eating a yoghurt, and for some reason my brain thought it would be a good idea to go, you know, that's very good for thrush. Like, she'd suddenly go, oh, sit down, stranger. I can't help it. I drift in. Like, I was at a museum the other day. Everyone said, don't take photos, and I was taking a photo. A 9-year-old girl arrives and goes, what are you doing? I'm taking a photo. She ran off. I'm off to tell the man. Now, the last thing you want to be doing is chasing a 9-year-old girl across a museum going, don't tell the man, don't tell the man. Added to the fact that when you catch her, you've got to go, I'll delete the photo. That doesn't look good.
Thank you very much. What's up? I would like to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, right, I don't wear any clothes in bed. That's all I've got on that one. The reason, of course, right, if anybody breaks in, I figure I'm a little more scary in the altogether than I would be if I was wearing my paisley pyjamas. Obviously, I'd be even scarier wearing a gimp mask. Going, I'm so glad you've broken in. I've been looking forward to this moment for many years.
The subject is young people.
Funky young people. You know, it's depressing being hit. I saw this the other day, it nearly killed me. There's a kid who was about 8 years old in a cafe with his mum. He went, here, Mum, doesn't matter how many of these you eat. He was eating a fun-sized Mars bar. Doesn't matter how many of these you eat, it never leads to fun. How depressing is that? It's not a happy meal. Life is suffering, Russell. Life is suffering. It shouldn't be like that when you're 8. When you're 8, you should be excited about the world. Can you remember the first time you saw a rainbow? Can you remember the giddy delirium in your mind? You're like, Dad, there's colours in the sky. I like the sky. I like colours. The two are combined. My mind is literally blown. I need answers, big man. I need answers. Well, that sun is called a rainbow. Oh, my God, it has a name. It has a name. This day can get no better. There's a pot of gold at the end of it. And it's guarded by a tiny leprechaun. Pull over, Dad. Pull over right now. Has anyone ever chased a rainbow? I did. You never forget it. I bet you didn't do this. Me and my little brother took a knife just in case the leprechaun acted up, right?
Thank you very much. The subject is drugs. Who wants to come in on that? Andy.
So, drugs. The Home Office have in fact clarified apparently how many spliffs you can have on your person before you might be regarded as a dealer. Apparently the answer is 500. That's a fair amount of personal use, isn't it? You would have thought you could have 500 almost anything on you and be regarded as a dealer. If I had 500 hobnobs on me, I think you could regard me as pushing biscuits. Not that I know that much about drugs, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently the current trend amongst young people is to have an upper followed straight away by a downer just to take the edge off it. Why not just take a bit less of the upper? That to me would be like having a Red Bull and then having a Horlicks straight away afterwards.
Well done, Andy. That's fitness.
Could have been camel toes. Now, I was in the gym the other day. I was in a locker room, and a 5-year-old boy ran in and jumped into a locker. Now, sometimes you know you're just going to have an incident, right? You could hear him in there giggling, and you knew what he was going to do. He was going to jump out and scare his mates, because his mates appeared seconds later, like, where's Stephen gone? Where's Stephen? He was there a minute ago. This is most irregular. And he waited, not for his mates, but for 3 huge naked men. It was fantastic. They were kind of walking past, and this little kid leapt at those men like a cat with rabies. It was incredible, right? Just from nowhere, the noise they made, I've never heard a noise like it. They sounded like a tugboat getting molested. His long-suffering dad is in the showers, obviously heard this and went, that'll be my bloody boy! Ran back, confronted this glowing hellbeast and went, Stephen, what have I told you about acting up in public? And this little kid cut his dad down with one very simple sentence. Dad, your willy's moving? You're just there going, oh, the world is a better place.
Thank you very much, Russell. It's education.
I am a little disappointed. I was hoping to get England as a topic. But yes, education. You may have seen that, in fact, our kids are now going to get taught atheism in the classroom. You would have thought that should be a fairly short lesson, wouldn't you? Hello, come in. There is no God. Same time next week.
The next topic is the consumer society. Russell.
It's all a bit much, isn't it? I went into a shop the other day that said, why not try a guilt-free wrap? You're like, don't make sandwiches evil. Sandwiches are lovely. The bacon sandwich, one of the loveliest things in the world. What is a bacon sandwich? Essentially, it's bread giving a dead pig a cuddle. It's a lovely thing. I love you, Mr. Pig. Why do the Jews hate me? It's lovely. I was really down about it, and then I saw this wonderful thing that I think could only happen in the West Country. The bloke behind the counter in this shop yawned. The bloke in front of him, who did not know him, popped his finger in his mouth and went, ooh, yawn rape, and I nearly died. I had never seen a yawn rape. And now you've learned about it, you can't not do it. You'll be on a bus, you'll see an yawn rape, you can't help it. Did the bloke behind the counter headbutt him? No, he didn't. The bloke behind the counter giggled and went, it's a good job I didn't fart, wasn't it? And you're sat there going, well, the world is a better place.
Thank you very much, Russell.